The empty tables and chairs in the Theatre Royal Cafe tell their own story. Plymouth's largest arts venue has been closed for almost 7 months now. Actors, production staff and front of house teams all forced to move on and find employment elsewhere.
I'm sort of applying to anything and everything that I can just to try and get some work to pay the bills. So I started working at a well-known fast food place, so that'll be my job, just to keep a roof over my head for a while.
Lauren was a production assistant before she was made redundant. She hopes to return to her passion one day, but is realistic about the short-term prospects.
It was pretty sad, yeah, after I'd sort of cleaned out my office, it felt suddenly really final, but yeah, I think it's such a weird time at the moment because nothing else is continuing, so it still doesn't quite feel real. I don't think it'll feel properly real until there's sort of shows on and I'm not involved.
Earlier this week, the Chancellor Rishi Sunak said that people from all walks of life must be prepared to adapt and, if necessary, retrain for different careers. But his comments left many in the arts wondering whether the government is really committed to getting the sector back on its feet. Actor Alex was in the middle of rehearsals for a play at the Theatre Royal when he learned that everything was shutting down.
With the start of COVID, obviously, it all came quite quickly. We were just rehearsing as usual. All of a sudden, it just kind of came out of nowhere that the theatre was closing. Obviously, it sort of was kind of inevitable with the lack of funding that the theatre was getting from the government and the lack of shows that they were putting on. But yeah, it was still equally heartbreaking.
Alex has now moved to London to start training at the prestigious Central School of Speech and Drama. He admits he has no idea whether there will be work for him at the end of it.
It's really quite scary and the future looks very uncertain, but let's just hope we can all rally together and make the most of whatever's going to come next.
A new report commissioned by the Arts Council shows culture and live performance is one of the largest industries in the West Country, generating £700 million a year for the local economy and employing more than 10,000 people. Back in July, the government promised a £1.5 billion bailout to save our theatres. An update on how that money will be divided is expected in the next few days. Sam Blackledge, ITV News, Plymouth.